Hi, everybody. It's Ken here, your favorite neighborhood life coach and hypnotist. Want to talk a little bit more again about narcissists and what it means to uh, be in a relationship with a narcissist. When we talk about narcissistic behavior, we're really going to be talking about the people it affects more than anything. Because the person who's actually is the narcissist, they really don't know that they're doing anything wrong. They think that actually they do everything right and everybody else is wrong. Kind of the bit of the problem with being able to get them help. But when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, it usually starts out the usual innocent ways. Let's say if it's a romantic relationship, for example, you're going to find yourself doing the usual stuff. You like each other, you start seeing each other, you start dating each other, you spend more time together. And during that time, during that beginning phases, everything is always nice and easy and wonderful. It all feels very good and exciting. And everybody's on their best behavior, including the narcissist. That's how they draw you in. But then over a period of time, a narcissist might start showing their true colors, which is going to happen sooner or later, and it could end up driving someone away. So if you're together with someone else for a year, and during that year they started showing obviously their true colors, they're abusive, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, maybe even physically abusive, and a person decides to get away from that. They break up, leave the narcissist. But then there's always something that's going to happen, or say tends to happen most of the time, just very shortly after. It could be a couple of weeks, couple of months, maybe even it could be even years later, 10 years later, where you're going to get this is a true statement. It's called hoovering. Hoovering is an actual term used by mental health professionals who deal with narcissistic behavior. Hoover, like the vacuum cleaner, the Hoover, because they're going to use this technique to suck you back into the relationship because they know a lot about you. They know who you are, they know your weaknesses, your strengths, your likes, your dislikes. They know how to push those buttons to see if they can get you back into the relationship. So here again, it could be weeks, months, even years, even decades later. They still remember what it takes, what makes you tick, and they can draw you in. Oh, this person, he or she has changed. They're so much nicer now. They're so much easier to talk to, easier to get along with. Oh my gosh, all the stuff that was missing from the relationship the first time is actually seems to be there now, and it feels so good, so natural. Oh, it's amazing, it's so great. Sorry we had to lose all that time, but now we're back together. They get drawn back in. Another part of that, not just by filling in the gaps of hoovering you in because they know who you are and what you're really looking for and what's important to you, there's also something called love bombing. And of course, love bombing is when when they go out of their way to overwhelm you with the physical displays of their love. So, for example, if the man is a narcissist, he might love bomb his lady with flowers and gifts and taking her out a lot and buying her stuff, taking her places she wants to go, just being there completely for her. But then at some point the love bombing ends, and it usually ends very abruptly. It doesn't just usually fade out. It's just you can almost point it on the calendar. This was the last day of the love bombing. The very next day there was nothing for a period all this time. Because the love bombing has a point, a purpose, just like it's part of the hoovering to suck you back into the relationship. So they can use this either if you've been broken up, or they can use this if they feel that you're pulling away. They can do hoovering or love bombing to drag you back in, to suck you back in. So it's something really important to look out for because it feels so good. The second time it actually feels even more emotional because you're more emotionally attached to that person than you were initially. Initially you didn't know them, you get to know each other, and then over time you know each other better. But now the second time, it seems like we know each other even more, have even deeper, closer feelings, and it makes that love bombing and hoovering more effective against you. So it's really important to be able to identify that, but it's hard. It's very difficult to do because it feels so good. It feels so authentic. It feels so natural. It feels organic, all this kind of stuff. But again, what's going to happen very likely is that they're going to show their narcissistic traits again. and they're going to stop the love bombing, going to stop the hoovering, and they're going to be right back to the bastard that you dumped, weeks, months, or years ago, and start the whole process all over again. And unfortunately, I've had too many women, 100 ladies in my office, where they've gone through this process, and it is so painful. It is so hard. It's hard for me to watch, because I'm watching a woman just melt down in such pain, such agony, because of the way she was being treated by a man in her life. I've also seen it with men, but women are more likely to come and get help with it, where men usually just try to deal with it on their own. So anyhow, it can happen from men or women, doesn't matter. But we want to be able to kind of protect ourselves by looking for the signs. Now, what I don't like doing, I see all this stuff on social media, and it's about red flags. Oh, red flag, get out of there. See a red flag, get out of there. Red flag, you need to leave. Well, that's taking it to a bit of an extreme. We don't want to, anything could be turned into a red flag. Whether you have a disagreement about politics or religion, or which is the best flavor of ice cream, that should not be a red flag that this relationship is doomed and you should exit immediately. It just means, let's see where this goes, and take it as it comes. Don't immerse ourselves into it and get completely sucked into it and lose ourselves. A big part of what happens in these relationship dynamics is that people lose themselves in the relationship, which is, once again, what a narcissist is looking for. They're looking for vulnerable prey that they can suck in, who's going to lose themselves into this relationship, and they don't have any idea what's happening to them. This person, the victim of this situation, they don't have a clue what's going on. They just know that this feels good or it feels right. So anyhow, that's just a little bit of a lesson on hoovering and love bombing, so you kind of know what to look out for. And hope to see you in more videos. I got more coming out, help with narcissistic behavior and other behavioral issues. So check it out. Talk soon.